Alright boys and girls, welcome back. I'm out here at Mini Fab Mechanical and Maintenance. Just behind me, no one knows about this yet, but just behind me is my new car. Oh yeah, there you go, there it is. So I got a new car to do a bit of towing of the caravans, because obviously with the business and stuff we do a bit of delivering to caravan parks with people that don't have a tow rig. So I've got a territory to, oh there you go, I've got a territory to help tow, because the F-truck is so long. Some parks are so small that it actually makes it so hard to deliver, get in there with the F-truck. So I went and bought a Ford Territory. It is the BARRA turbo, and I figured if anything ever goes wrong I can pull the engine out and throw it in the poo trail. Anyway, I was driving it for a couple of days, really enjoyed it. So I don't want to pull the motor out and put it in the patrol, but the flex plate did let go in the gearbox, so it was making some weird noises. So I brought it out to Kurt and Dylan out here at Mini Fabrication and Mechanical. Dill put it up on the hoist and went over it and found a heap of things going on with it. So not just the flex plate, it was like the rear bushes, and they're known for these going like in the territories. The rear bushes, CV boots, the brakes, like heaps of things. The turbo was only hanging on with one bolt. So there was heaps going on, and I wanted to put some bags in the rear to lower it up when I'm towing and stuff, just to help with that, because obviously she's pretty low as it is, but if once I put the van on, it's going to drop down. So the boys here are actually going to put some bags in it for me as well, gauges and all that type of stuff, so that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm out here today just to show you their workshop, show you the cars that they've got here at the moment. Might be able to show you a bit of the territory getting worked on, depends how the boys are going in there, and yeah, hopefully we can get this thing going a bit better than what it is. But anyway, I'll give you a little walk around of the new territory. You can call it my daily if you want, because I've got the F-truck, I've got the GU, but got rid of the Y62 if none of you already know that. So now I've got this Ford Territory BARRA turbo. So I'll give you a little bit of a walk around, and yeah, hopefully in a minute we can go inside and I can show you the workshop. But if you aren't following these boys already, jump on Facebook and Instagram and look up Mini Fabrication Mechanical. Boys do everything out here and they're really switched on. So jump on there, give them a follow, check them out, and let's get into it. But yeah, roof lining definitely getting done. That is horrible. Look at it. Yuck. Touches my head down there and shit. So that's coming out. That's going to get fixed. Anyway, that's the territory. Let's get into it. Show you around the shop. Show you some of the cars they got going on here. They got a little drift car and shit here. So I'll show you that and see what's going on. Check this out. Boys, even his dailies tidy. Look at that thing. That's its fat.
Who would have pictured Boof driving one of these? Yeah, it is all-wheel drive, I'll give him that. All-wheel drive turbo. Got it to be able to move around caravans a little bit easier. So we did speak about upgrading the rear springs to air ride. Obviously that's where we come in, specialising in suspension and especially airbags. So we yeah, got it all the gear on its way, and yeah, set it all up, hide air tank, compressor, all that under the car. Big believer of if it hasn't got to be in the car, and if it's simple, neat and tidy. So that's what we're going for. And yeah, set it up, fix up turbo, fix up the flex plate that obviously come loose. Yeah, a few other bits and pieces, a few gauges. So we'll get this thing running back schmick. What's going on? Right, back on the territory for Boof, and we have some new bits and pieces. So this is the airbag kit from Air Ride Australia. This kit isn't for one of those, it is for a Falcon, but obviously if you know your Fords, they do share a similar rear cradle and suspension setup. So their bolt-in airbag brackets will work. So spoke to the boys at Air Ride, they were super helpful. That's where obviously we get all our airbag gear from. They've got so much knowledge. So if you're after any airbag gear, hasn't got to be to slam your car. They also do a lot of tow options, like load assist airbag setups and onboard air. So yeah, make sure you get around it. But we also upgraded to some digital gauges. We've gone with the glow shift gauges to obviously accommodate for boost as well as the airbag setup. So we'll get in the car and I'll show you the process. with the airbags set up, they will obviously rotate a lot more and they will eventually break. Then the wheel will just rock back and forward, just be shit to drive. So anyway, up the right side, so we're going to find out together, and I don't think I have. Oh no, I may have. So that just goes straight up, bolts into the factory section. Ooh, I think I just found an issue. Oh no, so I'll just have to trim that out. I'm pretty certain it may even be the wrong side. So that replaces your coil spring, adjustable ride height, heaps easier, heaps nicer ride. Yeah, I don't know why more people do it. I do get the point behind it, where people get a bit worried about it if it leaks, but in all honesty, yeah, I've got an airbag car here that I did a few years ago, and since it arrived a few weeks ago, we haven't aired it out, and it's still sitting at full ride height. 60 psi I think we put in the airbags, so yeah, they hold air. If they're done correctly, they hold air, and yeah, I'm talking like weeks. You can leave an airbag car aired up without it seeing any variation in air pressure, so which is pretty cool. But yeah, having the adjustability, we've still got to put a tow bar on it for him, so yeah, busy few days, so keep getting into it. Cradle should be going back in very soon. I'm just waiting on those front bushes and bump stops. I'll play around and trim out where the airlines are going to go in the cradle, and yeah, reinstall it, and I'll video the cradle going back in. Righto, cradle is ready to go back in. New control arm bushes done. They were unexpected. They were about to tear themselves apart, so replaced them while it was apart. New diff bushes front and rear. Axle, yeah, worn through where the boot sits, so brand new axle. There was no point because it had half machined down like this cut with the exhaust running on it. Yeah, airbag mounts finished. New bump stops because the old ones were collapsed, so this car will still require bump stops. So generally when people want to go super low with them, you pull the bump stop out, or you trim it down. With this application, there's no need, so it's just take some weight off the airbag when he airs it out. The airbags do have internal bump stops, but yeah, I'd like to use the factory ones as we go. So yeah, cradle will go back in and you get to see it very soon. If I told you it's been a long day, I don't think anyone would believe me, but righto, bit of an update. It's been a long day, been hauling ass on this thing all day, so rear end's back in, so all the airbags are in there. Look, schmick, all new bushes, bump stops, control arm bushes in the front, new diff bushes as you can see, front and rear. Went through, adjusted handbrake as well while it was out, but there's no point, like, yeah, anyway, they adjusted up schmick because the handbrake was like sky high and didn't work before, so yeah, that's the OCD coming out in me. But anyway, bump airbags in, bracketry, yeah, nice little neat airline out of the top. Yeah, got his tow bar fitted, so I've just got wiring to do, and mount up his trailer plug. So but yeah, this thing's fucking coming along really good. I'm super stoked with how it's come along so far. So plan is get the air tank mounted, compressor and valve block this afternoon / tonight. One thing I didn't put on this morning was I've just come back from holidays, so I'm pushing myself to get it done as well. I am booked out, like, yeah, I can't even describe how flat out we are, and fab wise and stuff is just insane. So the goal is get this thing done in 3 days and back to Boof so he can start using it and it can be gone out of my shed. But yeah, we're happy to help. When this thing turned up, it was an absolute shit show. So it's nice to finally start seeing the end of it, or the end goal. So we've had the box out of it, a brand new flex plate and flex plate bolts, brand new turbo gasket and studs and nuts. So got all that sealed back up, fixed the exhaust, brand new diff bushers, brand new control arm bushers, what else, brand new axle in the rear, just up handbrake, fit the airbag suspension, yeah, plumb, wire it. We've got a boost gauge to go in as well, we've got a blow off valve to go on. Yeah, so, and we'll also shoot it over, get it wheel lined before it goes back to Boof as well. Just, yeah, when you bring your cars to Minifab, you get the whole kit and caboodle, because I don't like my reputation being shit on when it goes from our shop to another shop and they've got no idea about suspension. I've got a half an idea, but the amount of times it comes back with issues because they've adjusted camber or caster, and it just doesn't suit the setup. So we'll make sure this is set up correctly, and this thing's just going to be one sick soccer mum car. What a day. Tow bars in, tow bar wiring, that's all that's left for that. Airbags are in, diff bushers are in, control arm bushers are in, new bump stops, new axle, fixed up the exhaust. So now it looks a little bit nicer than it did. Fixed the hole in the exhaust because that was red hot. Adjusted handbrake. So far previous, we've had the box out doing a flex plate and flex plate bolts. We've also had the turbo off and doing turbo gasket and studs. So yeah, this thing's come along really nice. So, last few little things left to do. I've just got air tank, compressor and valve block to mount, and wire and plummet, and what else? And a blow off valve. Anyway, he supplied it. We can fit it. So stay tuned. I'm gonna have another late night just to get back on top of things, so it can I can have this thing wrapped up in under 3 days and back to Boof. So yeah, let's get into it. I totally forgot to film anything to do with that tow bar. And I am not ripping that rear bar off because it's been on about 3 or 4 times just to trim up this nice and neat. Like, look at the fitment. So it's not coming off, but what's on there, so I did do it. But anyway, we'll wire it up and get it finished up and start plumbing this airbag gear. So it's all about the little shit. Struggled a little bit finding the correct place to mount valve block, air tank and compressor. I personally like it on the outside of the car. Makes obviously the drivability and a lot better because you haven't got a compressor droning in the back seat. So yeah, but in this car still retains the spare wheel, didn't cut up any of the floor, and still managed to fit a 2-gallon air tank in it. So this is where we're at. Exhaust had to be modified to go around the air tank, valve block and compressor. So all the air lines are heat wrapped above the exhaust as well. So they all run nice and neat over the top to the valve block, as you can see there. Compressor runs around to this side, so that's all covered with the heat shield. Yeah, and still retain somewhat of a cool exhaust dump pipe. So yeah, it's all about the little things. Takes longer, but it's definitely worth it at the end when the end result still looks factory. Should have seen the straight pipe they'd previously put in. Ghetto. So yeah, paint up that rear section of the exhaust. I did put an extra flange in because yeah, that whole rear section to that side of the cradle was all one piece and it was a pain in the arse. So I just lopped it off and remade that rear section, but put a 2-bolt flange, so makes it easier to just remove this section to service all your airbag setup. But it will have yeah, obviously accessible drain plugs for the air tank and the water trap. So yeah, maintenance on this air system is going to be super simple. So yeah, nearly done. It is currently 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night. So give you a little rundown of where we're at. Mounting the gauges up now. I've got some switches to mount in the dash in a very functional way, where it's not a pain in the ass to air the car up and down or adjust ride height. And finish off running some wiring, drop this panel to the powder coater. Yeah, get this thing wrapped up. So there is a few other little things we've got to do that have just come out of the woodworks, out of nowhere. The car now doesn't start. Reality of it is, yeah, this shit happens all the time, and it's fucking frustrating for us because it's another thing to add to the list, yes, but at the same time, it shouldn't have done it. I don't know why this shit happens while it's here. But anyway, couldn't happen at a better place, I guess. So, but yeah, we'll keep fucking getting into it and getting this thing sorted. So. Would you believe me if I told you it's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night? Small business owners, that's why you've got to support us. Because we're here after hours trying to get shit done so we can continue to pump workout. But anyway, we love it. Well, it's got to be a passion, no other dickhead would do it. But anyway, so nearly finished the panel. I've just got 2 last little tabs to make. Finish off some wiring to be run to switches and stuff like that. And then, yeah, get this panel off to the powder coater. That's about it. This thing will be all wrapped up. I'll be able to cycle the suspension, leave it aired up, send it for wheel alignment. And, yeah, get this thing back to Buff and start enjoying it, using it for what he bought it for, plus a lot more. So yeah, originally it was only coming here for the flex plate. I've probably told you that, but I think it was a combination between me and Buff that we come to the conclusion of we'd airbag the car to allow adjustability in the rear suspension for better options with towing with his caravans and odd trailers and things like that. So, but yeah, let's get this thing sorted, finished, gone, done, out of my shop. No, I just don't want it to be here any longer, so I have to pull late nights, but that's the reality of it. Where else would you want to be on a Wednesday night at 9 o'clock? At home. Nah, still here just finishing up the last of the bits and pieces for Buff. So yeah, bit of an update. Rear end's done, air tank, compressor and valve block are mounted, wiring's run all the way through the car. We've just got this panel left to make, mount switches, run wiring, finish terminating the wiring into the car, send it for a wheel alignment, send this panel to powder coating. Yeah, that's about it. So it's been a long road. A lot of things have been done to this car. It's not just you throw a bag kit in it and away you go. You can do that, but you'll have a lot of headaches afterwards. So just making sure this is going to be schmick for when he gets it back, starts using it, and well, driving it as a daily is what he's told me. So, which this thing's going to be a sick daily. It's going to be fast, it's going to be low, it's going to be high. So yeah, but I'll keep going with this. Hopefully I'm not here too much longer. Yeah, I get to go home and then come back in the morning and do it all again. But we love it. Something different. It's what happens when someone has OCD and gets left by themselves. But come up cool, so I don't fucking care. Only took me fucking ages, but cool. So it's currently 11 o'clock, so that's PM. I'm gonna pull this panel out and go home.
Right, I didn't get time to get a video out at the boys' shop yesterday at Minifab when I went and picked it up. So I thought I'd run you through the end product now to end this video. Just want to say a massive thank you to the boys out there, Kurt, Dill, Clint. He's all did an amazing job to this thing. As you can probably hear a little compressor running in the background. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. I'll show you, I'll cycle through the bags and up and down and whatnot, whatever you want to see. And yeah, the boys also put on a blow-off valve for me on the little Terry boy, on the 1500 horsepower territory. They did heaps of stuff, boost gauge. He looked after it. I've just put on some 22s as well, so it did have the factory forward rims on it, but yeah, I've just chucked on some 22s. So anyway, let's have a look.
100 PSI sitting right here. Let's go down to 0.